We're going to be getting underway once again. Let's go ahead and go through the loadouts one more time. For the riders, clad in red, we have the Fancy, a Mobula being piloted by Dimentio. She's got a Hades up top, Gatling and Flamer on the lower decks, and Artemis is on the wings. And we have the Lib GTK, a Pyramidion being piloted by Luyosi, Gap Mortar forward with a Carronade and Flare Gun on the port side. We also have the so for the Praetorians, we have the Dr. Quickscope's MLG, being piloted by Lazy Pandas. Gotta do this quick. Double Merc forward. Then we have the Vulcan. Gap Mortar. Alright, there you go. You got your loadouts. Because Hades are raining in on Dr. Quickscopes. Those Hades are surprisingly accurate. At this range, it is very difficult to land those Hades accurately, but they're doing quite well. Hades. Gonna keep coming in. Ooh, Fancy though. Taking a bit of chip from that Mercury. The Fancy will rise. Now it's making it difficult for those Artemises and the Hades to land. But at the same time, those Mercuries are gonna go into the balloon. Like, look at that. See? Little hit markers. That means they're going to the balloon. They're gonna be fine. Now Lydia, just gonna make sure they don't take any chip damage. Making sure that that's going. In the meantime, the Vulcan is spotted. Look at the Vulcan down there. Like, the Fancy sees it. There's the spot on it. And Lib GTK may be looking to take it, but there's the flare. Going to reveal the Lib GTK. Gatling goes out, and it's remarkably accurate on the Vulcan. Vulcan's armor going to hold for now, but the Fancy has switched targets. Those couple of Hades may be enough to bring the armor down, but they get a couple of whacks on him. The Gatling taking too long to bring the armor down. There goes the armor on the Vulcan. Mortar gonna come out as well, but only a scant few are going to hit. Ooh, but the Artemis, however, is going to guarantee quite a bit of damage. Where is the armor? Took way too long to come up. Hull is down to below half, below a quarter. Vulcan is down. And the Dr. Quickscope's MLG, unable to assist its ally, is going to charge the Lib GTK, but their armor's up. Dr. Quickscopes is going to just slide along by as the Fancy rains easy Hades and Artemis shots into this Pyramidion. Now the Lib GTK is going to have some fires lit, but its engines are fine, its guns are fine, its armor's going to be fine, and the Quickscopes is going to fall. The double Merc can't fight this. Like, that is just a problem. It could not help its ally, it could not save itself. Especially when these ships close distance. It cannot stop a ship from closing distance. It doesn't have the stopping power. It has the armor shredding, but it can't do anything to the hull. It can disable guns, but it can't get engines unless the enemy's facing away from it. There's just nothing that it can really do. Not on its own, at least. The Mercury is going to rain in on the Lib GTK. Going to disable the armor pretty quick. But they're just going to get chipped away as the Vulcan gets chased. Artemis going to go into the engines of the Vulcan. The Vulcan's going to be slowed down. The Fancy, however, having a little bit of trouble getting any permahull on it. There goes the armor. Artemis is going to rain in. Vulcan taking a little bit of damage here. But it's going to be okay in the meantime. Lib GTK still eating damage from the Quickscopes. It's slowly chipping away. But right now, the Praetorians have their back against a wall, and the Vulcan has run out of space to retreat. Quickscope's actually going to be the target for the meantime. Hades raining in. Brings the armor down pretty low, but they're going to be okay. Lib GTK is a little bit tentative to engage. It wants to make sure that there's a little bit of damage on the Vulcan so that it can guarantee a victory, essentially. It doesn't want to take any more permahull damage than it's already taken. However, the longer it spends back there, the more the Mercury is going to chip away at it. So, Lib GTK has got to get in there pretty quick. Vulcan, however, dropping down, trying to make it difficult to land shots, but it's not able to really buy that much time. The Gap Mortar not doing much. It's just buying time for the Quickscopes, I think, to do damage, but their back's against a wall. They can't go any farther back than this. This is it. And the Fancy is just going to continue landing shots. Armor is burning now. They didn't have chem spray. They can't afford to get chem spray on it. They don't have the time. They need to keep whacking it. The Hades are too accurate, and the Lib GTK is going to come in, risking its life. Now the armor of the Vulcan comes back up, goes back down almost as quickly, and the hull is getting shredded by the mortar. Armor comes back up just in time, but the LibGTK is not going to let this go. Their armor goes down. Where is it? It needs to come back up. There it is. It gets shredded again, and the bump damages the LibGTK, but it destroys the Vulcan. Quickscope's coming in from behind. They get the ramp, but the armor just barely comes up first. Now the LibGTK in a scary spot. If the Mercuries can bring the armor down, that's going to be a kill, but the armor is down on the Quickscopes. They bring it back up. Hades, easy shots on the port side of this Pyramidion. Armor goes down again. Artemis going to chip away at that hull. And the Hades picks up the kill. 4-0 in favor of the Rydrs. And I think that they may be the team to go to the finals. Absolutely brutal. Vulcan spawns in low. The Praetorians are just trying to reset this engagement. I think they're realizing that they just can't stop the Fancy and LibGTK. Now, the LibGTK has no hull left. I mean, look at that. Look at that. It doesn't, like, there are 0 pixels. It is at, like, 0.1 hull. This is as low as you can get. The LibGTK has nothing. But it's alive. If only barely. But if the armor goes down for 1 second and like a single Gatling shot grazes them, they're going to go down. Now, right now, the Rydrs are not quite ready to give up an engagement. I think they want to try to win this 5-0. I think that's their goal. Because they're not really charging out ahead. They're hanging out very close to one another. But the Praetorians are very far away. And I think they recognize that the Rydrs are going to take the middle of the map again. So they're going to take their time, and they're going to use the cloud cover to try and approach. That being said, LibGTK could fire out a flare at any moment. The question is, when? Now the flare gun has... Oh, there's the spot. They don't even need flares. So LibGTK has been spotted. Quickscope's firing in Merc shots. Honestly, the Mercury could kill them at this point. LibGTK needs to be careful. Or they need to sacrifice themselves and throw themselves onto the spear of the Vulcan. Onto that pointy nose. Look at that schnoz. The Vulcan has taken up position behind this archway. 7 minutes left of regular time. Plenty of time left. The Rydrs still playing this careful. LibGTK ready to move in, but it's spotted. I don't think it wants to move in with a spot. That'd be dangerous, and the Rydrs don't want to take any risks right here. Not with their hull so low. They don't even want to give a chance of a comeback. In fact, they may just let time run out. That's their ideal right now. Flare goes out. Gonna allow the Vulcan and LibGTK to see one another. The Rydrs are just kind of keeping tabs on the Praetorians right now. That's what those flares really are for. And the Dr. Quickscope's coming around the side. I think they just want to get the kill on the LibGTK. What route are they taking? Are they really going to go this far around? Now, the Rydrs... So, okay, here's the thing. Quickscopes can kind of take any route and still have its guns in arc, and in range. Now, the Vulcan is going to start eating some Hades fire and some Artemis fire, but they're going to be fine for now. They're going to back up. They're buying time for the Dr. Quickscopes to get its arcs. And it's firing on the Fancy. Now, that is definitely the wrong target. They want the LibGTK. They need to take it out. The Lib moonshining forward. Dr. Quickscopes can't see them. Okay, they can see them. They're just not getting the spot. Now they're turning. Mercury's going to start coming in on the LibGTK. There's 1 hit. 2 hit. Red hit. Blue hit. Armor down. Can they do it? Yes, they can. Alright, finally the LibGTK goes down. However, the Fancy has moved forward. and it's taking this advantage to try and put some damage down on the Dr. Quickscopes, but the Vulcan comes around from behind, gets the ram. Mortars are easy to land, and there goes the possibility of a 5-0 or a 5-1. The Rydrs aren't actually that worried about that. I mean, they had no permahull in the libGTK, and it's a very important part of this duo. So, I think they're fine with that. Rydrs aren't actually that worried. 5 minutes left in regular time. Then we're going to go into overtime. We have quite a bit of overtime left. libGTK moving forward to try and reunite with the Fancy. However, it's already been spotted through the clouds. And there it goes. They lost the spot. Okay. However, they're going to get it back in just a minute. There we go. Mercury hits the balloon. They have a lot of shots, but I mean, it's not going to do much in the first place, especially now that the libGTK is back at full permahull. In the meantime, Dr. Quickscopes eating some Hades fire, eating some Artemis fire. And it's actually backing up. It's backing up. It's afraid of the Fancy. Look at those Hades landing at this range. And it's actually going to bump here. The guns are going to get thrown out of arc, and look at that. Just like that, the Mercury has no arc. RIS Vulcan has also been spotted. The clouds have been flared, so they can be seen. And libGTK is going to come in looking for a kill on the Vulcan. I don't know, though. It may go for the Dr. Quickscopes. It's not that much farther away. Maybe like 0.3 of a kilometer. Not far. Not far at all. Mercury going to continue raining down. Not going to do a whole lot. Armor gets downed on the Fancy, but what do they really care? The Mercury is just going to do a tiny bit of chip damage. If the armor goes down on the Quickscopes, though, it's done. Now, the libGTK is playing this very defensively, and I'm not sure I agree with that. I feel like right now, I think the thing is they're afraid of the Vulcan. They don't know where the Vulcan is. The Quickscopes is just hanging out there, being a distraction. And as long as it's there, it's going to keep chipping away. So, I mean, the Rydrs can't completely ignore it. They can ignore it to an extent, but they can't completely ignore it. Now, the Vulcan, coming in from the south, it's going to have a good arc on the libGTK when it comes in. And there it is. It's coming in hard. The libGTK quickly turning on the Vulcan. Gatling going up on it, but a lot of it is going to go wide. The Hades assistance, though, is going to help a lot. Now, the Vulcan kerosining backwards. It recognizes its mistake as the Fancy almost gets flamethrower arcs on it. Now, the Hades still going to rain in. The armor is holding for now. Dr. Quickscopes focusing on the libGTK, but it's not going to do much. Armor down on the Vulcan. Hades going to keep doing damage. And here comes the mortar from the libGTK. Vulcan down to half permahull. And I think this may be game. Armor down. There's the mortar. Mortar shots being traded. And the Vulcan is going to fall. Rydrs pick up game number 2, 5-2. And they will move on to the finals to fight the Mad Hatters.